Hey everyone, this is Grand Kahonu. Welcome to the Grand Scheme. Today I'm going to give you a few tips on how to get around Ultron's self-repair. We know that Ultron has become a favorite for the boss node in Alliance War, primarily because of his self-repair, which happens twice during the fight. We could also mention his auto-evade, which technically is supposed to happen every 7 seconds, but I think that might not be working as it's intended to work, because I've experienced fights where he evades more than once in a period of 7 seconds, sometimes back to back. But the big thing again is his self-repair, because at the amount of health that that node has, if he is going to make up 25% of his health, that is huge. You're probably not going to be able to fight through it and get him back down below that point of self-repair again before the timer expires. So therefore you're going to just be entering the same fight again and fighting against that self-repair, that processing point. And so there are a few ways that you can get around that. The first and the most obvious ones are bring a champion with heal block, such as Vision. Bring a mystic like Scarlet Witch or Doctor Strange who can nullify it again. But the problem with Doctor Strange, as we know, is his attacks are all energy based, so he does very little actual damage to Ultron, especially if Ultron has a high signature ability. Another one would be to bring Black Widow or Elektra, which, by the way, has been fixed, I believe. Kabam has acknowledged previously that Black Widow was not working against Ultron like she should have been, and so therefore was not able to get around his processing. But I've had several fights in the last few days where she has effectively gotten around it. So if you can bring Black Widow, she's a good option. If you can bring Elektra, get that left side mini-boss down so that you can armor break him. That will have a good chance of getting around it as well. However, if you don't have one of those champions and you run into Ultron, you're going to need to have another way to get around that self-repair. A very good option for Ultron, by the way, is Captain Marvel World War II, because of his signature ability. If he's duped, he's going to take very little damage while he's blocking, because Ultron is going to have a lot of positive buffs on him. And so World War II is a good option, but he has no way to nullify or counter Ultron's regeneration. And so here are some tips that you can use to get around that. By the way, if you have not yet watched my video on how to fight a stun immune champion, then I suggest you do that, because the boss is immune to stun in Alliance War. So I use typically the same strategy fighting Ultron or anybody else on that boss node as I demonstrate in that previous video. Right now I'm going to duel Hags. He is the leader of our alliance, and show you a few different options that you can use to get around Ultron's regeneration. The first one that is really a big gamble is to use a champion like Ant-Man, who, by the way, is also going to do very well against a stun immune champion, because he's going to take less damage than others because of his signature ability. But another reason is that he stacks debuffs. And so if you get that left side mini-boss down and you can stack a lot of fatigues on Ultron, or say you bring someone like Iron Fist and stack a lot of armor breaks on Ultron, if you have Despair maxed, then those will actually counter his regeneration, and he will regenerate little or nothing. And I'm going to stop talking here for a minute because I keep messing up. I need to focus and get him down to a point. I also need to be careful not to parry him here. because parrying will stop his regeneration, and we don't want to do that here. Okay, he's processing. Now I hit pause. This is the most frequent method of attempting to bypass Ultron's self-repair. That is, as soon as he says processing, I pause the fight. Now in Alliance War, the fights are timed. You've got a 3-minute timer going. And so you pause the fight, you let that timer expire with the game paused, and as soon as the timer hits 0, the game is going to auto resume, and you will have a window of about 1 or 2 seconds where animation will continue until the match actually ends. And so this method is a bit of a gamble, because if you can pause it immediately, just as soon as that word processing pops up, then you will have effectively bypassed his point at which he will process, and the next fight will be able to begin, and be past that point he won't process again. This is a bit of a gamble though, because if you miss this, if you pause it a second too late, then when the game auto resumes, Ultron is going to get in 1 or 2 ticks of regeneration before the match actually does time out, and that will push him right back above that point of self-repair. And so the next fight, as soon as you hit him just a few times, he's going to process again, and you'll have to try it again. That's one option. The option number 2 is to, at this point, actually quit the fight. There is a disadvantage to this, obviously, because you will lose this champion. If you just time out and the timer expires, then you're going to lose half of your health, but you will actually still have your champion. If you quit the fight, however, your champion will be knocked out. So that's a negative. A positive thing, though, is that by quitting the fight, Ultron has no chance at all to regenerate anything, and so therefore the next fight coming in, he will be past that point of regeneration. And so this is a safer method. A third option, which I was not able to do here, I'll try it on the next one, is that you notice I have a full power meter. As soon as he says processing, instead of pausing the fight, I would hit that third special and then pause the fight and let the timer expire. What happens at this point is when the timer does expire and the game auto resumes, you will still have the animation from that third special going on, and then the match will end. And what this does is this prevents Ultron from regenerating anything. It's actually going to do more damage to him, so it's going to push him well below or safely below that point of processing, and you will still have your champion, although it will be at half health. So there are your 3 major options to get past Ultron's regeneration points. Pause and time out the game, pause and quit the game, or my preferred method, use the third special and then pause and time out the match, and Ultron will be past his point of regeneration. So that's it. That's the ways that I use. Let me know what you think. Do you have other methods, other recommendations on how to get around Ultron's self-repair? If so, leave a comment below and let us know. Like the video, share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the page for more great content coming up very soon. Until then, this is Grand Kahonu wishing you a great day, and make sure you go and smoke it down. See you guys.